If chivalry was dead, people wouldn't have to keep saying it's dead. The truth is, most people don't have any idea what chivalry is beyond opening doors and letting ladies into the lifeboats first. Now, before I go further, I want to remind you all that I do not see military service, especially in this modern age, as a prerequisite for being a warrior. Nor is the military the only source for the training and education that makes dangerous men. You have an obligation to be dangerous and to be good, but there are no rules on where you learn to be dangerous. Anyway, love it or hate it, here are the 3 things I think every modern man needs to understand about chivalry. Now, the history of how chivalry evolved is its own video, but the history of the word itself is easy. The French word for horse is cheval. Horsemanship is chivalry, and especially it meant military horsemanship, since owning a horse usually meant you were a knight. Naturally then, as the role of knights changed, so did the meaning of chivalry. But that origin is still with us in the word today, just people don't realize it. So many of the actions commonly thought of as chivalrous are tactical decisions. Chivalry is a series of tactical decisions concerning our relationships and actions toward those we come into conflict with, those we struggle beside, and those we protect. You hold the door open for a woman so she can get in the car or the building first. That makes her safe and leaves you outside to handle anything bad that might happen. Since you're volunteering to be the one exposed to danger, it's a good idea to be dangerous yourself. Right now, some effeminate troll is in the comments or writing me an email saying that he isn't dangerous but still opens doors. Well, my friend, that's stupid. If you're going to be the one who exposes himself to danger to protect his mother, his girlfriend, his wife, his daughter, a total stranger, especially if you're going to make a habit of it, you should study and train so that you'll win if that danger actually raises its head. Otherwise, you're just a willing sacrifice getting your ass beat because you chose to be weak and untrained. That's no good for anyone, especially the people you're trying to protect. But that brings us to the second thing every modern man needs to understand about chivalry. It's been my general experience, and yours might differ, that the 2 groups of people most determined to claim chivalry is dead are red pill misogynists and the neckbeard wannabes who want to blame women for everything, and militant feminists who hate the fact that they're smaller and weaker than men, and that when bad things happen, they usually call a man to come save them. Both of those groups make most of their decisions based on fear and resentment of those who are fearless, or those who they blame for their oppression. I've heard neckbeards protest that there's no honor in war anymore and that they studied the blade. And that's their excuse for not enlisting and going to war and still wanting to convince me they're a warrior. These are the same men who proudly announce that they would be chivalrous if only girls weren't so mean to nice guys. They want to be chivalrous, but they just don't make the grade. They're not dangerous. So they bitch and complain and blame women for their own weaknesses, their own failures. And we have all opened a door for a woman who then proudly announced that she was strong enough to open the door for herself. Well, maybe so. But it's smarter tactically to let the bad guys in the area know that if they took action against her, there were men in the area that they would also have to fight. Women talk about being vulnerable, but I assure you there is no woman so vulnerable as that woman who publicly alienates every man in the room, except for that one bad guy who wants to hurt her. I've heard of women talk about any act of courtesy, being an undercover act of repression. It's an attempt to subvert her free will by reminding her that she is a constant, perpetual victim whose life is only permitted by my tolerance. Anyway, those two groups want chivalry banished because chivalry reminds them that they are not what they wish they could be in a world that's not what they wish it was. And they take that anger out on the chivalrous man because they know his deeds are rooted in a code a little more complex than be nice and do what people want you to do. If she doesn't want you to open her door, don't open her door. She's not strong. That woman is stupid. And if you're a woman watching this and getting annoyed, this next part is especially for you. And for the neckbeards. When I wrote my book, my editor asked why I didn't write about any female veterans too. And I told her I simply don't know any female veterans. And I certainly don't know any female combat veterans, but I know you're out there. That I can't write about the female combat veteran because I'm sure I don't understand her experience, that's just a thing. But every strong, virtuous man has to be a fan of Captain Shay Haver. She and Captain Kristen Griest were the first two female soldiers to graduate Ranger School. And Captain Haver went on to join the infantry, HUA, and be a company commander in the 82nd Airborne. She's obviously a very dangerous woman. And we're going to just stop right there. I am already tired of the complaints that she must have had the standards changed for her. She didn't. The dropout rate for men in that class was the same as for women. And it was the same dropout rate as the year before. And the colonel and the command sergeant major in charge of the training signed her paperwork. So if you've got some assertion she got special treatment, your first step is to call those two men liars. And if that idea annoys you, just go fucking watch a different video. It's a new world, and I'm certainly not a feminist. But only a fool doesn't recognize that some women have earned their spurs and their place on a battlefield, while men have increasingly been unwilling to enter the fight, especially a fight on behalf of women. We have to understand that some women take on that fight themselves. And I don't mean some metaphorical fight, some argument about voting and rights. I mean walking down the street at night. See, bad guys should be afraid to ever touch a woman or a child. Afraid because a chivalrous person, a warrior like me or you, might deliver immediate negative consequences if he did. And I don't care if the person delivering those consequences is male or female. If a man feels safe smacking his woman or a child in front of you, you should be ashamed. You should be especially ashamed if he's right. And you can't do anything about it because you're fat, weak, and scared. We'll do a video on that another time. But if a woman is going to open the car door for her husband, her wife, her lover, a child, anyone, and she does so because she understands the world can be a dangerous place, and she is prepared to resist that danger with strength, training, prowess, a Colt python tucked into her bra, and not just the optimistic hopes the blind sheep around us do, then she's being chivalrous. She's a warrior. And the standard for the chivalrous woman are the same as the standards for the chivalrous man. Be ready to fight back. Win or lose, it's only chivalry if we are prepared to fight for it. I want to mention here that Captain Haver and Captain Griest have never heard of me. They could care less what I think of them, and nothing in this video is supposed to represent their opinions. My immense respect for them and women like them, that might well be a one-way street. I'm okay with that. You don't have to give respect to be worthy of respect. And I'll do a video on that next. Anyway, I'll let YouTube pick this video for you to watch next. This video might be this video. Or you can go watch some cool conspiracy or ghost video. I love that shit. Anyway, Have a beautiful day. Help other people have a beautiful day. Go kiss someone you love and remind them that you're there. Not in a creepy stalker way, but you know, someone who thinks it's okay for you to kiss them. Call your dad. See if he needs help with anything. See you next time.